Hello and welcome back to the video walkarounds. This is a 2014 BMW X3. This is the M Sport model and it's also the 30D, so it's the 3-litre twin turbo diesel model and all new for 2014. Around the back of the car it's quite difficult to see the main differences between this and the previous generation. The largest sort of changes are from the front end of the car with a different headlight design, just to bring it in line with some of the other models. So quite an interesting shape on there. This particular car's also got the xenon headlights as well. This is carbon black. These colours are generally specified on M cars. So you see quite a lot of M3s and M5s in carbon black, but when it's nice and clean and the sun's shining on it, it's a really, really beautiful colour. Also new for the 2014 model is this new style of alloy wheel. These are all in absolutely perfect condition, as you can see. All really, really nice. Other changes from the previous generation are the indicators have now moved from here. This is like a sort of mirror finish to it. They've been now integrated into the wing mirrors as well, and the addition of the M badges. And just to show you that that's the xDrive 30D model. Again, this side paintwork all in absolutely beautiful condition. The tailgate's electric. It's also got the reversing camera, which you can see there. So the boot lid opens either from the back there, is closed from up here. You've also got an internal release switch for it on the door, and it also can be used from the key as well. Loading area all in fantastic condition. None of the usual sort of loading scratches or anything like that. All really, really nice. And we're going to have a quick look at the interior. So starting from the driver's side, again just a very, very small basic change. The boot release is now here, which is a lot more useful than when it was down here on the near the footwell. You've also got the power folding mirrors button. You can set that so that they fold in automatically when the car is locked, which is quite a useful feature as well, especially if you're living in a city. And then you also have the central locking switches. Both the driver and passenger have one of those as well, which is good. This particular car has electric memory seats for the driver's side, just electric adjustment on the passenger side, but with memory for the driver. This will remember exactly where your mirror settings are, all your seats, and also your lumbar support settings as well. Slightly different design seats from the previous model, and again all in absolutely beautiful condition. Very, very, very little wear on those. The car itself has done 35,000, just coming up to 35,400 miles. It has the full black panel display, which gives it the digital display at the bottom rather than the sort of traditional gauges and things like that. Automatic headlights, automatic wipers, and also this really, really beautiful piano black inlay as well, which looks fantastic. We just hop in. Another major change, and I think probably the best change in the entire car over the original model, is the new heater control panel. This is a lot nicer and a lot more up to date than the previous one, and it looks a lot closer to the sort of current 5 Series and things like that as well. If you start the engine, which is, again, it's a keyless system for starting it, just press and start. You'll see the digital displays all kicking in there. And the heater controls are all digital as well. Beautiful new high resolution screen. The reversing camera on this is probably better than my video camera actually. Really, really nice clean system. Also shows the front and rear parking sensors at the side, so that you can see exactly which sensor is being operated at whatever point, so you know how close you are to an obstacle, and all the various settings and in here as well. If you prefer not to use a camera, then you can just have the parking sensor switching on there, but obviously if you have a camera you may as well use that. In terms of the entertainment and infotainment systems, you have the latest generation touch system, which basically means that it has handwriting recognition, so you can actually type in numbers and letters in here if you're inputting a destination into the sat-nav or something like that. In terms of the entertainment settings, you've got full digital radio, and you also have a DVD player for the front. Your music collection is an onboard storage for your music, so you can download music straight from your telephone or from a USB device into the car itself, or indeed from a CD. You can actually just import the CD into the car and then leave the CD at home, so you've got everything on the system. It's a really nice thing to have. External devices can either be connected by Bluetooth, by USB connection, or by an auxiliary socket as well. These hardwired sockets are in the glove box, and people who've looked at previous generation BMWs will be glad to see that they now actually have the full space within the armrest. They always used to have the mobile telephone cradle that was here, which always got in the way, so thankfully they've now got rid of that. You've just got the two hardwired ports in there, or you can use Bluetooth from your phone and stream music, stream podcasts and things like that direct onto the main system. So a full media package with everything that you could possibly need. Like I said, digital radio and everything for your external devices, Bluetooth obviously for your telephone as well, and a really lovely navigation system, which is so much faster to use than the previous generation one. It was a bit, not clunky, but it just took a while if you wanted to zoom in or move around the map. This one, as soon as you touch it, literally just comes straight in, and then also highlights any issues with traffic that you may have as well. So yeah, really good and far more improved system to the previous generation one. A quick look around the switchgear here. You've got the main gear stick. This car also has a paddle shift as well, so you can change manually up and down on the steering wheel. You can also, when the car is here, move it from side to side and go manually through the gears up and down like that as well. Obviously if you have the paddle shift, that's generally the preferred sort of route, or you just leave it in standard automatic. There's also a couple of different driving modes, so we have anything from sport down to economy mode. So when you put it into eco mode, this basically promotes efficient driving, and your display changes up here and it actually shows you how much of the battery you're charging by your slightly more efficient driving, and will actually tell you how many miles you've gained in fuel just by driving more efficiently, which is quite a fun game if you like that sort of thing. You also have a comfort mode, sport for dynamic driving, and then Sport Plus, which basically takes an element of the traction control off. Not really suited for an SUV, but this is actually a very fast and capable car. I can't imagine many people use it in that mode. Somewhere between sport and comfort or the economy mode would probably be best. And other items in here, you also have the vehicle information. This is actually quite good. You can come straight in here, and a new xDrive menu, which the previous generation one didn't have, has this rather cool compass on it. For if you're doing some serious off-roading, again something that's probably not going to be for everybody, and will also show you if the car is on a tilt. So again, there's nowhere really to show you around here at the moment, but if you were going up a hill or something, it'll actually show you what angle the car is at, which is quite cool. Sport displays will also have a power and a torque meter. Again, more for fun than anything else. And vehicle status will give you the full information for the car in terms of its mechanical settings. So rather than a dipstick, you have this electronic system here which will measure the engine oil and also give you the service requirements for the car. So rather than it just needing a full service all the time, the car will actually tell you what needs changing at whatever point. It means that your servicing costs are a lot less than they would have been historically, and everything has a sensor on it. The brake pads, when they're replaced, are replaced with a brand new sensor. Depending on how hard you use the brakes, will obviously determine how long they will last for. So coming onto here, essentially it's suggesting that the next thing that's due for this car is rear brake pads, which would be in 10,000 miles. We've got just over a year, so November 2018, or 11,000 miles for the next engine oil service. The front brake pads are due in 11,000 miles, so again you probably do the front and rear at the same time. MOT is until August 2018. Vehicle check is due November 2020, or 26,000 miles, whichever is sooner, and the brake fluid service has also recently been done, so that's not due until August 2019. Also, BMW have done away with service books, and you now have all of your servicing details on here. It's a variable servicing, so it's essentially every 2 years, or kind of maybe 18,000 miles for the engine oil service. So it will depend, obviously, again on your annual mileage and the kind of overall use of the car as well. So you will see on here that the first service was done by BMW in 2015. It had an engine oil service, and also the microfilter changed as well. This is a great system, so you can actually come in here and see exactly what's been done and by who's done it, so that will actually refer to the servicing centre that carried out the work. So that first one was at 14,887 miles. The next service was done by BMW at 30,500, just under. And at that point the engine oil was changed, the vehicle check was carried out, microfilter, air cleaner elements all changed, as well as the fuel filter. So that was obviously a pretty major service, and obviously since then we've also had the brake fluid service done as well. So absolutely everything up to date until the rear brake pads in 10,000 miles time. So again, depending on your annual mileage, if you're only doing 5,000 or 6,000 miles a year, then essentially the next thing that you'll need to do is the would be the MOT next September, followed by an engine oil service in November. So further specification are heated front seats for the driver and passenger, and you also have high beam assist on here as well, which will, if you're driving at night, say on country roads for instance, and a car comes towards you while you have your high beams on, the headlights will automatically dip down so that you don't dazzle the oncoming driver. As soon as they drive past, the headlights come back onto full beam. Quite good. It obviously doesn't really work in the cities when there's high density of traffic, but if you're on quiet roads, that's a really nice option. Also, the headlights are adaptive as well, which basically means that as you're turning into a corner, it lights up the side of the road that you're turning into. So actually a really nice option, and the xenon headlights are fantastic and bright. So just having a quick look through the rest of the interior, really just to give you an idea of the condition of it. There are no scratches, no tears in the leather certainly, and no real marks to talk about at all. It's all in really beautiful condition, inside and out. You've got this beautiful white stitching on the seats, which follow through to the door handles, soft sort of door handles as well. So all very nice. Rear seats all in fantastic condition. Actually kind of look like they've never even been sat in. Really lovely condition. And again, the piano black inlay is just finishing it off really nicely inside. So yes, I hope this has been helpful. If you do require any further information or additional images or anything like that, please make sure that you look at the car on our own website, which is influencecars.co.uk. If you have any questions at all, please do give us a call or send us an email. We'll be more than delighted to organise an appointment for you, give you finance illustrations or value a part exchange for you at all. But this, yeah, very impressive car. It's the first of the newer shape that we've had in. A really impressive car to drive. So thank you very much for watching, and please do let us know if you need any further information.